Hi, it's Maija here with my weekend reads, also commonly known as late Friday reads. And I'm going to talk about the books that I'm currently reading and what I have out from the library. But first things first, I bought a new e-reader. As you probably saw from the thumbnail, I went ahead and bought a Kobo. And this is entirely because of Lauren and the Booksies Cozy Reading Night live 2 weeks ago, where I was in the chat and a person was asking how they get their Overdrive or Libby books onto an e-reader, and I told them that you sadly can't unless you're in the US and have a Kindle. So US people can get the Overdrive books, send them to their Kindles, but that's that's a feature only available in the US. I have an old Kindle Paperwhite. This is a second generation. It's from 2013, and I haven't really been borrowing books from Overdrive because I have to read them on my tablet or my phone, and I don't like to read from a backlit screen. But then there were some Canadians in the chat saying that they have a Kobo, and the newer versions at least allow you to get the Overdrive books very easily onto a Kobo. So I looked onto Kobo's website and went searching, and I found out that Finland is among the 12 countries that has this feature supported. So in Finland, you can also download your Overdrive books onto your Kobo very easily. So I just went ahead and bought one. This is a Kobo Libra H2O. It is almost the same size as my Paperwhite. You can see the Paperwhite is a bit taller, and this one has this white part at the side with the page turning buttons. You can also turn the page from the screen. The screen is a bit larger than on the Paperwhite, and this is also lighter than that. Yeah, I already went ahead and I got my hold of Across Green Grass Fields by Sean Maguire, and I already read that yesterday on my Kobo. And as you can maybe see, I went ahead and borrowed The Gilda Stories by Jewel Gomez, which is a black lesbian vampire story. I'm all about vampire stories. I went ahead and borrowed this even though I am in the middle of a lot of books, so I don't know if I can read it in the 2 weeks that I have, but I am so far very happy with my new e-reader. So let's move on to what I'm actually currently reading. So I'm pretty much reading all of the things that I mentioned in my last Friday reads. I'm still reading that. I am having that sort of time where I pick up new books and I start so many books, but then I don't finish anything. I did finish The Ghost Tree by Christina Henry from that pile, and sadly I didn't end up liking it. I gave it 2 stars. I liked it less and less as it went on. So it had a very interesting premise, but I didn't end up really liking it. And I also read a couple of the library books that I showed you in that. I showed you Blame Volume 1 by Tsutomu Nihei and Monstrous Volume 4 and 5 by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda. I don't know if I will continue with Blame. I read Abara from Tsutomu Nihei before, and I like the self-contained arc, whereas Blame is a long-running manga series. Monstrous I really liked. Volume 5 was a new read for me, and Volume 4 was a reread, and I had a great time. But I am currently reading The Beautiful Ones by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and this one, the reprint just came out, and it is an author's preferred text, so I think there are some changes. But this one is the original that was published in 2017, and I bought it in 2017, and I didn't read it. So this is like a novel of manners with magic. I am about 100 pages in, and so far I'm really liking it. It has a little bit of magic, but it has so much romance and drama, and I'm living for it. I'm also reading this for my TBR challenge because in my last quarterly reads and receipts I got the challenge to read a book published in 2017. I also started Evil Under the Sun by Agatha Christie, a horror book that I showed you in my last Friday reads, and I'm halfway through, and I know this story. I have seen the episode so many times, and I remember something of how the murder was done, but I can't remember who did it. I can't understand why I don't remember. I've seen it so many times. This is one of those seaside resort murder things. There are a couple of those in horror books. I also started reading the May issue of The Dark magazine, which is on my yearly goals to read every issue that I get. So that is a horror short story magazine. I read 2 of the 4 short stories so far. And then I have a couple of new arrivals from the library. I have The Low, Low Woods, written by Carmen Maria Machado, illustrated by Danny, and colors by Tamara Bonvillain. This is a graphic novel that's like a one-shot thing, and I don't know much about it except it has something to do with memories. It says in the back, there's something in the woods. Shudder to think Pennsylvania has been on fire for years. The woods are full of rabbits with human eyes, a deer woman who stalks hungry girls, and waits of skinless men. And the people of Shudder to Think, well, they're not doing so well either. When Elle and Octavia wake up in a movie theater with no memory of the last few hours of their lives, and I don't want to read anymore. But anyway, I have read Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado, which I really like, and this is a horror comic. Then I have this chunkster, this is a beast. This is 1,300 pages of Dragonlance. So this is the Annotated Chronicles by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. You might remember that just last year I reread the Dragonlance Chronicles. So this is all 3 books in the Chronicles. I'm not gonna reread them again, but this one has annotations by the authors. So there's like tidbits of info. Like you can see a bit up on the side of the page there. So there are huge margins and then there are little notations. And I just want to know all the Dragonlance info. There's also a couple of books waiting for me at the library for me to get them, and those are Tramcar 015 by B. Jelly Clark, which is the alternate Cairo, magical Cairo novella. There's a novel that just came out in this universe, and I've read the short stories in this universe before. Then there's Blood on the Tracks, Volume 1 by Suzo Oshimi, which I heard about from Jordaline. That is a horror manga that has something to do with a fraught or abusive mother-son relationship. I don't know anything else about it, but I'll check out the volume 1. And then A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson is coming. You might remember this from my most anticipated releases of 2021 video. This is the one about Dracula's brides. So a vampire book, I have been waiting for this. It came out in January and it's taken this long for the library to get it. So I was like second in line and they ordered 2 copies. So I'm gonna get a brand new copy as soon as it arrives to the library. It's now on its way to me. So this is what I'm currently reading and my new e-reader. I am looking forward to reading so many more books from Overdrive. I hope that doesn't hinder my getting my TBR down progress. And I will just start reading so many library ebooks. But that is all for me for now. Let me know what you're currently reading and I'll see you in my next video.